So today I'm talking about why I use a beginner camera as a professional wildlife photographer. And it's actually the same camera that I'm using to film this video. Let's get into it. The camera I'm talking about is the Canon R10. Often people are surprised when they find out that I use this camera, expecting that I use something more high-end, like a Canon R5 or equivalent. This has been my main camera for the past 3 years, and I've been able to use it to great success. My photos taken with this camera have been published in competitions, magazines, field guides, and by well-known organizations, including National Geographic. The Canon R10 isn't just limited to photography, as I've had great success using it for video work, including filming all of the recent videos on this YouTube channel. In this video, I'll share the pros and cons from my 3 years of experience using the R10, as well as the reasons why I've happily chosen to use this camera over other higher end models. To provide a bit more context, here's where the R10 falls within the current Canon RF mirrorless lineup. I've grouped these cameras in order of price into 3 main categories: entry-level, mid-tier, and high-end. The R10 falls into the entry-level price range, about 4 to 6 times more affordable than the high-end models. Now that we have some more context as to where the R10 sits compared to other camera models, let's get into the reasons why I use this body as my main camera. Reason 1: the Hex of Success. This concept looks at the balance of factors that contribute to successful wildlife photography, including gear, artistic vision, technical skill, subject and location, photo editing, and fieldcraft. Coming back to the Hex, it's important to understand that each of these factors may not have equal influence on the success of your photography. Based on my experience, and in discussions with other photographers, if I were to rank each of these factors, it would look something like this. Fieldcraft, artistic vision, and subject and location would be the most important factors, followed by technical skill, photo editing, and finally, gear. Let's imagine we have someone new who is just getting into wildlife photography. They don't know much about the hobby, so they watch a couple YouTube videos that recommend they need an R5 and a 600 f4 to take the best wildlife photos. In an alternate universe, that same person comes to this YouTube channel first. They put in some time and money to develop their fieldcraft. They participate in workshops and courses to strengthen their artistic vision, technical skills, and photo editing. And they put the remaining funds towards traveling to see cool subjects and photograph them in epic locations. The resulting photographer is much more diversified and balanced, as they've put their time and resources into the factors that will truly improve their photography. Reason 2: it's good at the important things. When we look at the strengths of the R10, it has fast, accurate autofocus, as well as excellent tracking and eye detection for wildlife that punches well above its price point. It also has a high frame rate of 23 frames per second that allows you to call through and select that perfect pose. And lastly, it takes images with sufficient resolution of 24 megapixels. When we compare these strengths to the downsides of the camera, the R10 is not weather sealed. I'd consider it to have a below average build quality. It has a short battery life. There's no in-body image stabilization. You can experience rolling shutter in certain shooting situations. It buffers when shooting long bursts, and it has limited customizable controls. Now clearly this is a much longer list of downsides to the camera, but the question you need to ask yourself is how much do these factors actually impact your photography? Reason 3. Lower end gear forces improved technique. A crop sensor body like the R10 is much more demanding in low light than a higher end full frame body like the R6, R5, or R1. This smaller margin for error in low light situations forces you to dial in your settings and technique to capture the cleanest image you can in the field. Even if you upgrade to a higher end camera in the future, you'll still be able to apply the skills and attention to detail that you learned shooting that lower end piece of equipment. Reason 4. Different tools enable different results. While full frame bodies are great in low light and in helping to create that shallow depth of field, crop sensor bodies excel in their own areas. In scenarios where adequate light is available, the high pixel density on crop sensor bodies allows for very detailed portraits of birds and other wildlife. Not only does the higher pixel density allow for these types of images, but the narrower field of view naturally inspires you to create different compositions than if you were shooting a full-frame sensor. I know at some point, when I do transition to full-frame, this will leave me with a much more diverse portfolio of images that were taken with a crop sensor in hand versus images taken on a full-frame sensor. While crop sensor bodies do excel in tight portraits, it's important to note that if you use the right lens, you can still create wider environmental images. Released almost 4 years ago, the Canon R10 is still one of the best value for money options for wildlife photography. Most of the cameras released over the past 5 years are more than capable of capturing high quality images of wildlife. You should think carefully about where to best allocate your time and money to get the most out of your photography. And finally, to put things into perspective, many entry-level models today, like the R10, are more powerful than flagship camera models were just 10 years ago. With that in mind, you should consider upgrading gear only once you meet real limitations. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe here or check out one of my other videos over here. We'll see you in the next one.